Holy shit! Look at that food inflation rate. It's up by 20 fucking percent on 2021. I don't think wages or the unemployment have gone up by 20 fucking percent.
No. What's also worse is we have this thing called the Living Wage Foundation, and each year they set a price. They set the outside London price to £10.90 per hour as our living wage. Our minimum wage just went up to £10.42. So there's like, what, 50 pence in it between them hourly, which is ridiculous.
Actually,
which puts the price up of every fucking industry, which means all the prices of everything goes up.
Is that for 40 hours a week, Croy? Is that for 40 hours a week?
37 and a half.
37 and a half. And how much it was?
£10.42. 37 and a half is our average full-time.
Yeah, so that's the amount of hours. But what was the rate, the high rate that you gave for the Living Wage Foundation?
£10.90 is the living wage.
Okay, times £10.90 times that by 2, that'll get you a fortnightly rate of £817.50. Why am I doing this math? Well, so after the government's bringing in all these fucking taxes and all this inflation, they've got a new fucking plan on how to piss away British money.
Because that's 21,000 a year for the living wage.
No, don't worry about it. We'll just give universal income benefits of £1,600 a month.
Oh, sure, why not?
Which is that living wage. Remind me why anyone would work again.
I'm going to quit my company then. I could pay off all my debts in no time. I earn less than that running my company sometimes.
People will be paid without a requirement to work. So £1,600 to sit around with your thumb up your ass.
See, it's funny because my dad's always been a big proponent of a universal minimum wage, but I don't understand why. I don't see how it would work. Because no one's earning anything, so nothing's being created. So where the hell is all this money coming from?
Your grocery tax, your sugar and salt tax. If anyone's left making money to fucking pay it. No, it's going to be they're going to fucking just keep printing money out of the mint.
Yeah, this is the Weimar Republic kind of solution.
But £1,600 a month, which is literally more than the British minimum wage for 37 and a half hours.
Look, the British minimum wage is 20k a year now, which, needless to say, is pretty high. And, you know, I run a domestic cleaning company where we have to put our prices up. So let's say we pay our staff £11 an hour, which is close to the minimum wage. It's slightly above the living wage.
Yeah, well,
you then want to have...
That living wage, though, Crow, is £1,635 a month, which is less than... Sorry, which is a whole £35 more than this. Why the fuck would anyone in their right mind work for you when they could do absolutely nothing and get 1,600?
Yeah. Minimum wage is works out monthly as 1,693.
Yeah.
So
if you times, what you do is you take the weekly amount, times it by 52, and divide by 12. That way, you get the actual monthly pay that you would get, because you get 12 payments over the course of the year. It works out as 1,693 for minimum wage. So it's about the same as working a minimum wage job.
Yeah, but without the whole working part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no one's producing anything.
No.
So who are the 30 people that get set?
You'd have to be an absolute fucking idiot to take a minimum wage job if a scheme like this existed.
Yeah. I mean, they've got 30 people taking part in this, but I wonder whether this will be rolled out for immigrants rather than the British people.
Oh, yeah. Of course
it'll be a
No. They get more Crow to help them adjust. They're already getting more than that now. And
this will probably be on top of other things like housing costs that are taken care of, like universal credit covers housing benefit. It covers things like if you have, for example, if you have a disability, you get personal independence payments as well. So there's lots of different things. And I wonder how many of these people are going to be applying for these things and trying to prove that they are, not fit for work.
Yeah, but this is fucking ridiculous. And I'm a very strong advocate of a robust, effective, decently paying welfare system with the goal of getting people into proper employment as soon as fucking possible. This
The
is
thing
not going to achieve that.
Let me carry on with what I was saying
Sorry,
earlier,
go
because we pay £11 an hour at the moment, roughly. To cover the costs, we send 2 cleaners, so that's £22. And at minimum, you want your staffing cost to be at most 50% of what you actually charge your clients. That way, you have costs for paying for your overheads, for insurances, and actually still having some profit. So minimum we need to charge per hour is now 44 quid at minimum. So what happens when we suddenly try and pay minimum wage for cleaners is no one wants to fucking work that. No one wants to work minimum wage for a cleaning job. Never has been the case. Normally we've been like £5 above minimum wage, roughly. So you go to £15 an hour. Suddenly you need to charge your client £60 an hour. That's an extra 15 quid an hour. That becomes a massive amount that is increased. So you now have a poor populace who can't afford luxury services. So no one's wanting to fucking book a fucking cleaning company at £60 an hour, because what they can do is they can independently hire an individual person for £15 an hour rather than
walk
going
around their
company.
friend group and go, hey, who the fuck wants to mop my floors for 20
Yeah.
quid?
And these people will be uninsured. They will not have the protections that we have. They will not have the guarantee of standards that we have. Obviously, we've got like 2 people going to a clean, so they check each other's work.
Yep.
You're in a position where you're making it so companies cannot compete competitively against anyone who just wants to be like, yeah, well, I can do it for free or cheap. Or like, yeah, just give me 100 quid and I'll do the job.
So you're already saying
well,
that you can't find people to do hard manual labour for minimum wage already. And now the government's...
We've been having this issue since we were looking to hire people in 2019. We had quite a lot of applications and we found a few good people. We didn't get a chance to hire them before the pandemic happened. After, every single fucking attempt that I have had looking for an employee has been fruitless because nobody wants to work. No one wants to go into other people's homes. There's this weird fear about either working or being around other people, everyone wants to work remotely from home, and it's a fucking nightmare. It's just impossible to hire decent people. And it's not that people, because there's this whole argument that, people just don't want to work anymore. No one's ever wanted to work. That's been the case since the 1920s and earlier, but people would work because that was the only way forward. And you have these schemes coming in like this trial, which prevents people from thinking, actually I do need to work.
Well, that's it. If you already can't get people to work because you can't, of that, but now you've got the government going, we'll just give you minimum wage to sit on your ass and do nothing. Of course it's going to end in fucking disasters. No one's ever going to work.
End so many businesses.
We've had this in the United States since the late 70s called the War on Poverty. And if you go through any of the areas that used to be thriving, like coal mining towns specifically, that I know examples of, and they're ghost towns, but you still have people living there because they're living off the government teat, and they get no incentive to do anything other than be dependent on the government. And it's just fucking disgusting. But nobody wants to stop the gravy train because, oh, well, we've got to look after the poor. It's like, no, they'll look after themselves if they have incentive to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, though, I'm a firm believer in a competent welfare system with the goal of getting people into work. This is not that. No one's ever going to be stupid enough to look for work if a system like this exists.
The problem with this kind of system is if everyone has access to a bare minimum living wage, the prices of everything is just going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who actually wants to do anything like earn, they'll want to earn more money by having a job. So jobs are going to have to pay like 2 or 3 grand or more per month to actually have anything. And then the price of everything is going to go up. So
that's it.
That 1.6K won't be enough to live on.
If you exactly,
which is by design.
If you roll out a system like this, no one's going to get out of bed for minimum wage or $1 or a quid more than minimum wage. No, businesses like Crow will have to pay £30 an hour per employee minimum. Now roll that out to infrastructure, transport, farming. Yeah, of course the price of everything's going to go up. And it's not going to stop. It's going to inflate. It's going to go through the fucking roof. And then the government's going to go, shit, we need to increase the universal income benefits to keep up and just print money and oh no, we've run out.
This isn't how you grow an economy.
No, it's how you control a populace. Look at the black community in the United States.
Completely dependent on the
cycle they've been going through since the late 60s.
And the thing is, I know this isn't the way you grow an economy, because the way you grow an economy is you produce things. And what are we doing? We're not producing anything anymore. We're not a country that makes anything, barely. You look at China, it's producing shit tons of things.
That base type says we're all going to be millionaires, boys. Still broke, but we'll have millions. Like a good old Bolivian millionaire.
Or
it just drives me nuts.
billionaire.
It just drives me nuts because it's clear and obvious that we need to be incentivizing economic growth by incentivizing industriousness. We want to be producing our own fuel. We want to be producing our own fucking cars and selling them to the rest of the world, and so on and so forth, ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Well, what we're doing is we're trying to shuffle all of the money we currently have, print a bunch more of it, and say, "Oh, we have more now," and then redistribute it the same way it already is, but just say, "Oh, because there's more of it, it's better." And you're not doing anything.
Well, don't forget, add on all this environmental bullshit where things are prohibitively expensive onshore, or you can't do the thing at all, so you're just offshoring all your fucking emissions to China. And China's getting fucking rich off the back of it, and you're just pissing money away from them. Because China doesn't put money into the local economy, they just buy shit and sit on it.
And ultimately, this is all kind of driven by this peace at any cost economic model that's been floating around for decades, where they want to make sure everybody's interdependent, so no country can be self-sustained. Therefore, they think, oh, well, this will just result in constant peace and it'll be beautiful and glorious, not realizing the human cost of employment, individual productivity. Hell, where can you go to buy anything that doesn't have some element that's made in China? Whether, you know,
China, because they buy shit made in Japan.
There used to be...
Base tape. We're all going to be millionaires, boys. Still broke, but we'll be millionaires.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. So, this stupid-ass trial, a group of 30 people are set to take part in this trial, which is being organised and funded by some absolute pack of lunatics over a period of 2 years. 2 fucking years. Hold on a second. I need my calculator again. What the fuck is 2 fucking years? So, 1,600 a month times 24, £38,400 each. Please explain how that extrapolates to however many millions of people the UK has.
Legal or illegal?
Yes.
Let's say 90 million. Is it 90 million, I think, or something like that?
Actually, let me go do it yearly. So 1,600 times 12. Say it's 90 million, because of course we've got to give the kids the money as well. That will cost a small amount of 1.7 trillion a year.
I'm just like,
or we'll tax the millionaires and billionaires,
or approximately 1 year's worth of expenditure on Ukraine.
What if you adjust that for, say, 10% inflation between years? How much additional is that?
Oh God,
fuck, ridiculous.
1.9 trillion.
Let's just call it 2 trillion.
Yeah, 2 trillion. So with 2 trillion a fucking year, which is coming from taxing the companies who are going to go, fuck this, we're moving to Spain.
Yeah.
Watch as Northern Ireland becomes the most powerful economy in Europe. Which they could if they weren't woke idiots.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We've got some tweet comments on this. Speaking of the Twitter, one man says, "I'll quit my own business to get that instantly." Someone else, someone called Sandy, says, "Wow, that's a lot more than my wages. I wouldn't mind a bit of that."
Yeah, no fucking shit. I remember during the pandemic when we were getting, we were locked in, we were entitled to claim certain amounts of benefits. I wasn't clear on all the instructions, but basically we only claimed what we would normally be earning, which wasn't a lot, but we would have been entitled to claim full-time wages and minimum wage had we realized. And it took a while, but that was about 1,700 per employee that we could claim.
Bloody hell.
So during the pandemic, we basically earned more money than we'd been earning for the first 2 years of a business, just because they were printing money for us.
Yeah, it's almost as if they were pissing money up the wall for nothing other than to get the normal people to shut up while they destroy the economy. And if you stay,
And what was worse is there was nothing illegal about what was happening there, because we were doing the bare minimum that was legal that we were meant to claim in doing that.
yeah, not like all those companies that invented employees.
I just find it amazing. Like, you can get away with that shit.
Well, you know those rules were written for the big businesses. So Shemi, who likes tractors and praying, says, I've worked all my life, 40, 50 hours a week, and I'm due to retire. With my state pension and my small works pension, I will not get anywhere near that amount a month. This is not right, but of course we know why it's being done. Total reliance on the state and all that brings.
Yeah, I refuse to put myself in that position. You know, like, things like universal credit should be a stopgap while you're looking for a job to get yourself into employment as soon as possible, or into education if you're not.
Well, that's it. It needs to be structured in such a way that you can get into work as quickly as possible and don't go insane while in the process. Which,
You know what would be a really interesting program? It'll never happen. But if you had your, say, in the U.S., income tax at a federal level suspended for a year after you gain full-time employment, people would be clamoring for jobs.
And that would be, is that any time you get a new job, or is it only the first time you enter full-time employment?
I would say, well, if
after you've
filed
come
for
off
unemployment,
welfare or something.
That would be really, because people would be taking advantage of that left, right, and center to get a full-time job.
Add in something like can't have been dismissed for being an absolute tool and can't have quit. You know, the things that normally exclude you from unemployment in the States should also exclude you from that. But yeah. Finish off the last tweet here. Pensioners like me worked all our lives and gained £205 a week. Some will be getting paid almost double than me. Hard working doesn't pay.
Yeah, I've literally had the same conversation. Like, years and years ago, my brother said to my parents, you guys have both tried to do this the right way. You've gone and got degrees, gone and got jobs. Have you ever considered turning to crime? And he's absolutely fucking right. At this point, I don't see what the hell we've got to do, because doing it the right way, doing it the correct way, by all the rules, you get fucked and fucked and fucked and fucked.
Yep.
Yep.
Ironically appropriate for Pride Month, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, here's another one.
Yeah,
sit around, do nothing, get paid
all mine is
1,600
fun.
quid a month. Yeah, it's by design. Just sit around, do what the government demands of you. They clearly have no interest in actually making the money, but they just want complete and utter fucking control, so they can bring in communism, and then they don't need to worry about the fact that they've just destroyed the economy, because no one will have any money at all. This whole system is just stupid. This is not how you run an effective unemployment scheme. You need to give people enough money to survive without going insane and possibly killing themselves between jobs, and you also need to not pay them so much that it's literally smarter to be unemployed.
Yeah, you know, I think maybe I should just become an MP, because they seem to have it figured out.
Oh, yeah. They can have pay increases and get it paid to do absolutely fuck all.
Oh yeah, I that whole fucking scandal where this person had his whole pond fixed in his garden. I was like, oh yes, I got the public to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And
Anyway.
And next lockdown, you can have the public pay for your big parties.
I'm surprised none of this shit has led to a violent uprising. I really am. I'm like, why are we so fucking cucked in the UK that we don't just do what the French did?
Because they've been working on that for 60 fucking years.
It disgusts me.
Well, that's it, because you're a hard worker.
Yes, but I don't want to also die a martyr for a cause that I know, even if I did, wouldn't actually change anything. The problem is, one person alone can't fix the system. It has to be a bunch of people all en masse.
Yep. which is really hard when you arrange the system such that all the midwits are perfectly fine sitting in their pod, eating their bugs, and getting their universal income.
Yes, and thinking, ooh, isn't life sweet? I remember when we didn't have to have universal income and we couldn't afford anything. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm now properly blackpilled for the day, so we'll go on to blackpilling tomorrow, I guess.
Yes. we
Excellent.
have more black pills tomorrow. If you enjoyed this segment from the Sons of Chardonnay podcast, please consider joining us live exclusively on rumble.com/c/Sons of Chardonnay. A special thanks to our Subscribe Star supporters who you can currently see scrolling past on your screen.